Soil pH. Why is it so important? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about testing your lawn for pH. We're going to talk about how to correct it, a few different things. So hold on one sec. Hey guys, wow, been a busy week. Finished up the scalp 2 days ago. Yesterday came out, did my treatments for pH on the lawn. Got a whole bunch of stuff. I got a whole bunch of videos coming out. Make sure you click that subscribe button because I got a whole bunch of product reviews. I've got over 25 videos planned. I don't know how I'm going to get them all out, but you don't want to miss them. Next, we're going to talk about soil pH. In the description down below, there's going to be a link to a page where you can get more information, see products I'm using. I'm not going to go into in-depth about describing the products or telling you what they are. So I'll just go to that page and I'll put them up. If there's a link on Amazon, there's a link on Amazon. If you have to go to Lowe's or something to buy it, I'll put that up there too. But let's talk about soil pH and why it's important. Here's neutral, 7. 7 basically is neutral on pH, water. If you get far to this side of the scale, if you start to go acidic, some of your nutrients are not available to your plant. Your plant can't use them. If you go on the other side of this scale, the same thing happens. So as an example, if you get too acidic, nitrogen becomes less and less available to your plant. If you get too alkaline, I forget what it is, I think it's iron, is no longer available. The other thing is strange things happen to those nutrients when you start to get out of balance. Like your calcium and phosphorus may react and bind up in a strange way. So you really want to have that perfect pH. But you can see that there really is no way to draw a line on neutral and get all these when I put this chart up. You can see that there's no way to actually draw a line and get a perfect neutral. So we sort of have to pull good and bad and figure what we're going to be. Let me put that chart up so you can see it. Now on this chart, you're going to see it. Now I'm going to put this chart on the website, and you'll be able to see this chart on the website, in more detail and actually see the nutrients. But the one thing that you'll notice about this chart is the nutrients over to the left, nutrients over to the right, acidic versus alkaline, and when they're available. So what we do is we grab a range in the middle. And the range for Bermuda grass really is a 6'2", 6'3", somewhere in there. Now, if you're a 5'9", you're not going to freak out. But I am a 5'9". And the way that I did that is I did good soil testing with a good pH meter. I'm going to show you in a minute here. Basically, every 3 paces, I went and took a reading. Every 3 pieces took a reading. Every 3 paces took a reading. And I took the average of all those all the way around. And you may have different areas of your lawn that are way off on pH, and you treat those a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the meters. I'm going to show you putting out the correction stuff. We'll put out some lime, put out liquid lime. I'm going to show you a mixed treatment where I take my super juice. I take my super juice fertilizer. I take liquid calcium, lime basically, pH adjuster, and I take pre-emergent. I mix all those 3 together and I put them out on one treatment. That's one of the nice things about super juice, is you can mix things with it and do multiple treatments all at once. That's what golf courses do. Golf courses do that all the time. They do mixed treatments all the time, whether it's a fungicide, insecticide, whatever it might be. They're mixing treatments and spraying on their courses. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the pH meters. I'm going to come out and test. Let's get that done, and then we'll go to the mixing part, and I'll show you me treating it. Hey guys, this has to be one of the more frustrating videos to make because I want you to understand something. If I have, let's say I have 16,000 square feet of lawn, I'm supposed to take a soil sample that's that big, send it off somewhere and have them tell me what to do with my whole lawn. Wrong answer, number 1. Number 2, okay, even if I were to take multiple samples, I'm still taking a very small sample of a lawn, which can vary greatly. The backside of my lawn has pine trees. Is it going to be more acidic? So what I'm going to do today is, I think when it comes to testing, I think pH is the most valuable information that you can get back from soil testing. Why? Because if you follow my program, we're putting out broad spectrum fertilizers, so your lawn's going to get everything. The only people I really encourage to get soil tests are people that have been dumping a lot of Milorganite down. And I think what you'll find is you probably have a phosphorus spike in your lawn, and that can be dangerous. It can cause chlorosis, which is basically the plant can't get iron because it's locked up in the soil from all that phosphorus. Phosphorus has a tendency to lock up nutrients. So if you have really high phosphorus in your soil, you need to watch that. And that's the only thing I would test. And that's what a lot of people find. But let me just show you what I'm doing here. So I've got all kinds of testing stuff. I've got these little cheap $10 testing meters. I've got my soil testing kit, which I think, by the way, this is the most reliable and accurate soil testing kit on the market. I'll put a link to it. I'll put a link to it in the web page. There's a web page in the description down below, and I'll put links to the good stuff. This one I consistently. Now this is a little bit troublesome because you got to take soil samples. So I'm taking a soil sample here. You got to dry it out. You got to mix it in here. You got to shake it. Then you got to let it settle. Then you got to take the water out and put it. So it's not an easy process. This is actually a scientific testing kit. So don't think that you're just going to be able to drop soil in, put a few drops of something and get a reading. That's not how it works. Now it does work that way on the pH. As an example, this is from that kit. So here's a pH reading. And my pH reading on this one tells me that it's about a 6. Maybe a little bit lower. So when you get your test done, you can see that I'm at actually 5.5. That one's telling me because it's light green. It's coming up closer to this one. So that says it's a 5, but it's actually, this has been sitting a full day, so it was actually a little bit darker. Anyways, you've got these meters here that you actually wet soil. You use distilled water, wet the soil, drain the soil, put the meter in and read it. This one is easy to operate. You open it up, you try and use it a couple times, and then you throw it away. That's how you work that one. Simple instructions. Here's the winner, though, that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to put a link to this one. This thing is invaluable. I finally, after all the different meters and testing, you get what you pay for. This is a little more expensive, but man, this is a great tool. Now, this comes with, just so you know, there are 2 metal probes here, and basically it's a conductivity test. So you need to keep those clean. So after you use it, make sure you use these sort of, they're like an emery. It's like a buffing cloth. I did contact the company and ask them, because I was a little confused, how long this thing is good for. And they said basically forever. As long as you keep these probes clean after you use it, it's good forever. So let me go out and show you some interesting stuff of why I don't like just going out and taking a little soil sample. Hold on. Okay, so I just did the scalp, but where'd you come from? God knows what she's doing. But here's the thing. I can start over here on my lawn, and I can get a 6.3. I can move over and get a different reading and different reading and different reading. I can go over here and get a completely different reading. And so what I want to do is I want to take the average, and that's what this thing lets me do. Will you stop running around like crazy? So what I like to do is I just poke holes in the ground. She's gonna steal she wants my paper towel. She has an obsession with paper towels. So I'm gonna put this in. I made a little hole, and I'm just gonna spin it. And then you'll notice that what it does, the needle slowly moves, and the needle will keep moving, and it takes about, I would say, anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute for that needle to actually settle down. And I know for a fact that this is coming out at about a 6, almost a flat 6 by the time it settles. I'm not testing you. So now I'm going to wipe this off and put the camera down. I'll wipe this off and we'll go over here. So you can see that this one here is telling me that it's a 7.1. God, hold on. Okay, so what I do is I walk around with a clean paper towel and I wipe off these probes. Now I'm going to sink it back down in here. I'm just going to gently just turn it till I get good contact. Your soil needs to be moist, by the way. All right, now if you can see it, move that ball out of here. Now I'm at about a 5.9. I'm at about a 5.9. Do not steal my paper towel, please. Let's go check another one. So I've got these rods. You can see I've got these rods positioned all the way down here, and I can keep wiping this off and testing. If I'm not mistaken, this one came back at like, don't steal my paper towel. It came back close to a 6. Let's go do another one. I'm going to come all the way down here. We're going to go all the way down here, but you can see these rods. I've done these all the way across. Oh, getting close to a 5.9. So I'm going to go out front, do the same. And what I'm going to do is, so within a matter of minutes, I've been able to come out and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've been able to do 6 pH tests all the way across my lawn, and then I can take the average. So now, based on all those tests, you can understand why I love that little meter. I can go test my entire yard every 3 paces, get a good pH reading, and take the average of that, which I'm averaging about a 5.9, and I really need to be at about a 6.3 is where I want to be. Now let's talk about the lime. Pelletized cheap lime is not a good way to go. Pelletized cheap lime is sort of rocky. It takes a long time to work into the soil, and if you're out here scalping and cutting, it's just going to take forever. So actually, Anderson's has a product which is not available to us. It's only available really to the professional industry. It's a DG product. They grind the lime up to 100 mesh. Really, it's like talcum powder. And then they put it in that DG formula and it disperses, and it's a really good product. But I'm not going to put it down. I could probably get my hands on some, but it wouldn't do you guys any good if I'm using something that you can't get. So I went to the big box store and I got the Pennington super fast acting lime. My only problem is it has this AMT or AST, and I'm trying to contact them to figure out what this stuff is. It's not a surfactant as far as I know. It's some kind of polymer which helps the lime bind up in the soil. Kind of scares me, but it's supposed to be a good lime. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to mix up a batch of super juice, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of lime, liquid lime, into my super juice. I wish I had more. If I had more of it, I would just go straight liquid lime, but I only have 1 bottle. And it's going to rain. I may do another treatment in a month or so, but I'm also going to put out a little bit of pelletize of that pelletize. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to put both out today. Now, here's the beautiful thing about using super juice. This is my first feeding of the year. We scalped the lawn yesterday. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to spray with super juice, but in that super juice, I'm also going to add lime, calcium, liquid calcium. And then I'm also going to add my last treatment of pre-emergent. I'm going to do a very, very light treatment of Dimension liquid. And when I say light, it's going to be like 0.25 ounces per 1,000 square feet. I just want a little bit more. Since I scalped, we did the Barricade granular a few weeks ago, but I'm putting a very little bit amount in there just to spray over it. Because now I've exposed this ground, I've opened it up. This is a good time. I've got 5 days of rain coming in, so this is a good time to get this done. So I'm gonna go mix it and show you. Okay, so let me show you what I got going here. This is my little super juice table that I made, and this is a little tea pitcher. I've got a link on the website to it if you want to get one, otherwise you don't have to use one. This is a fine screener. I forget what size it is, but I put a link up to them on the website. This just goes inside here. All professional sprayers, all golf courses always screen their material before they spray it. You should do the same. I've got a gallon of hot tap water. I know I'm gonna walk slow. I'm fat and old, so I'm gonna walk slow when I spray. So I'll need at least 8 bottles to do my lawn. So that's 2 gallons of water. And it doesn't matter how much water you use. And if you wanna go spray it while you're in a walker, you can add more. If you want to get a workout and jog the lawn and spray it, use less. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add my super juice, and I need to calculate how much super juice I want to put down. So per 1,500 square feet. So let's say I've got 16,000. I'm going to treat 16,000 divided by 1,500 equals 10.6. So I need 10.6 cups of super juice inside here, inside that water. I'm going to stir it up, and then I'm going to screen it. So let me put that in there. Anyways, I did want to show you what this stuff looks like as I mix it. You can see it sort of turns into almost like a real cappuccino. And it doesn't smell. It really doesn't have a smell, I guess. Maybe if you go somewhere at low tide, because of the seaweed, it kind of smells a little bit like low tide, a little bit, barely. And that's what it looks like as I mix it. And then what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll pour it into here through the strainer, because you'll have a few humic. This does not use the humic DG. This uses a different humic from Anderson's inside of it. And it's designed to melt very quickly. Some of the particles fight it, and so I just throw them away. I don't even bother. There's a couple down at the bottom. So now what I want to do is I want to calculate how much dimension I'm going to put in. So that's pretty easy to do, because if I have 16 per thousand, I have 16,000 units times 0.3. So I want to add 4.8 ounces. I'm going to add liquid calcium. Now this liquid calcium here, it's not cheap. This bottle is not cheap, but I don't know of any other way to get calcium into the soil immediately. I've got dry soil. As soon as I put all this on, it's going to be about 24 hours I'm going to get a rain. Well, what's going to happen? It's all going to be pushed down further into the soil. If I get extreme heavy rains, it's already going to be in the soil. It doesn't matter. The calcium. People ask all the time why we don't add calcium into the super juice. See these little crystals that are stuck in the mouth here? That's why we don't add calcium to the super juice. Calcium is a nightmare on sprays. Hear all that? That's why you don't add calcium to spray material. So what's the last thing I want to do? The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some green dye, because it's spring, so I switched over to green. And I've got 2 gallons of here, but I really normally I'd only put in about 2 tablespoons, but I'm going to put a little bit more in, because I want to make sure it's more of a marker, because I'm putting out dimension, so I don't want to over treat certain areas. I want to get a pretty good even treatment. So I'm putting in close to 1/4 cup of dye and get it green. Oh, here's a quick funny note for you. If you have latex gloves in your garage that are getting kind of old, go out and check them. Because the box I had before, last week, I put them on and pop, all my fingers would go through. They dry rotted. So I've got a link over. If you go to the product link page, I think I've got a link to these gloves. These are awesome gloves, industrial heavy strength. But once you get in the process of start touching something like dimension, you're going to want to wear gloves. Super juice, it doesn't matter. There's nothing toxic in super juice, but I've got dimension in here, so I need to wear long pants. I've actually got a spray suit, a little spray suit that I bought that keeps crap off you too. I'll do that in the next video. But now that I'm starting to pour these bottles, get your gloves on. And that's why I like this tea pitcher. This tea pitcher, I just fill it up. All right, so got my 8 bottles ready. Get ready to go spray the lawn, and unfortunately, I had a drizzle cloud come through. It's actually drizzling. It's actually drizzling a little bit. So I got to get out there fast and do this. So I wasn't supposed to have any rain move in until late tonight. I got a little bit of a drizzle. It's not going to rain. It's just like one cloud passing over. So I'm going to get out here and spray. I've got this underneath the bushes over here. Hope you can see me. Now this is must-see TV.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. but I get up, I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again.
Okay, so all the lawn's been sprayed. We put down super juice, pre-emergent, and the liquid calcium in a limited amount all over the lawn. So that little spritzy rain stopped. The sun came out and peaked a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of this pelletized lime and I'm going to put the pelletized lime out. I'm doing a spreader review, so I'm going to use a new spreader I'm trying out too, so it's a good time to do that. So now let's go put out some of this pelletized lime. I'm trying to beat this rain. I'm out of breath because I'm lime in the front yard, but here's the bag. So this is what I'm using. I'm using Pennington Fast Acting Lime plus AST. We'll talk about that. Here's the spreader I'm testing. This is 1 of 5. I've got 3.5 bags in here. And you can see what the lime looks like. I really don't want to touch it, but because it's kind of slimy. It ends up giving you a slimy coat on your hands.
Don't know what we have to do, but someone's gotta change. You got issues that makes two of us, but someone's gotta change. If we never ever met before, if I never opened up my door, yeah, 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 yeah. If we never ever got to start, if I never opened up my heart, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, so real quick, let me make this point because this comes up all the time. People are asking, can I do this and apply super juice? Can I do that and apply super juice? Can I spray super juice before I aerate or do? Get this through your head. You can apply super juice anytime you want. Anytime you want. It's a very, very mild formula. It won't have any negative impacts on anything else you're doing. The only time you cannot apply super juice is after childbirth. Does that make sense? So any other time you're doing anything else, you can apply super juice. Childbirth. Don't apply after childbirth. That's the only thing that you can't do. So let's recap. Number 1, soil pH should be probably an annual treatment. Some people need to do it twice a year because it's really hard to get that pH to adjust. Yeah, I personally prefer the liquid. It's a lot easier because you got to put tonnage down. I mean, you know, you got to put hundreds and hundreds of pounds of granular lime down on your lawn, and then you're going to be mowing and scalping. So personally, I like the liquid. It's so much easier than pushing that big thing around. But you can do it either way. Now again, in the description down below, there's going to be a web page, and I'm going to list all these products. I'll list the liquid lime. The granular lime that I used by Pennington, you can pick it up at Lowe's or Home Depot. There's no reason to order it off Amazon because it's just too expensive with the shipping, and you got to buy so much of it. So just go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick that up. But I like the liquid. It's so much easier. So again, super juice, you can apply it before you scalp, after you scalp, it doesn't matter. If you're going to put pre-emergent down, you can combine it with the super juice. It doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about the super juice. Again, we use the super juice really in this early springtime, especially That's all I'm putting down on this lawn. We're just doing super juice. I'm not doing any granulars because it goes immediate, starts working immediately. Hold off on any organics till it gets warmer. Hold off a few weeks before you start doing any regular granulars. Now we've got the new granular coming out. I've asked Anderson's to package that up specially for Amazon so it'll ship better. It's like it's an 18-pound bag and it'll treat 5,000 square feet. It's a really, really fine particle and it has the humic DG inside of it already. Great product. I'll be doing a whole series on that new fertilizer when that comes out. I'm hoping 2 to 3 weeks it should be available. Just keep subscribed so you see the videos and check the website because I'll put it up. I'm getting ready. I'm shooting some stuff right now, in fact, on it because I've got some on hand. So I'll be doing some videos on that. But I hope this video really helped you better understand pH and the fact that you really need to have that, 6.2, 6.3 kind of pH. Otherwise, your lawn can't get the nutrients that you're putting down on it. If there's one soil test I really want you to do, it's pH. The other soil tests I'm really not concerned about especially because I'm using super juice. I'm putting out all the nutrients very lightly on my lawn. I know my lawn is getting all the nutrients. I know I really don't have any deficiencies because I'm doing it on a constant basis. Every 2 or 3 weeks, I'm coming out and putting a little super juice down and I'm putting down the right stuff. That's not my concern. My big concern is going to be pH at the beginning of the year. The last thing we learned today is old fat guys have a hard time pushing 100-pound spreaders full of lime around. Oh man, that'll wear you out. Got to go in. I'm going to be right after this. I'm going to be working on another video, so I got to go back inside and start shooting and editing for the next one. So we're going to be cranking them out. Talk to you later. Doc.